The war with the Ionkai had gone on for too long. A machine race, created by the sapiens of their homeworld, they had whipped their creators and expanded throughout the stars like the hyper-specialized killing machines they were designed to be. Our initial plan for a decisive strike against their home system, home of the Matryoshka brain that ruled over their whole kind, had failed miserably, and Supreme Command had concocted a new strategy. We were now part of the task force assigned to the Sol system, one of the many who would strike these subjugated worlds and starve the Ionkai of resources. We didn't have large numbers, but neither did they, who relied on local collaborators to keep their titanium grip upon the locals. Once the collaborators realized the dawn of their oppressors was upon them, they'd be likely to switch sides, and if not, the general populace was sure to overthrow them and replace them with legitimate leaders who would gratefully provide the resources necessary to keep us, their liberators, in the fight. With any luck, we might even bolster our numbers with local volunteers. Beyond the pride of serving our civilization, of doing our part in ridding the galaxy of the mechanical woke, we felt sorry for the subjugated species. The machine race lacked imagination, and when they came upon Sol, they thirsted for what they saw. The local sapiens had developed a multitude of ritualized combat, novels, operas, movies, games, an endless supply of imagined battles, campaigns, whole armies, entire civilizations birthed from their minds and put up to fight, unbound by material restraint, or even the laws of reality. What followed was brutal. The machines conquered the system with no resistance, and put their newfound biodrones to work. Before them, they laid hardware of endless computing power, built self-sustained power sources to last till the heat death of the universe, and demanded their tribute. Gruesome shifts followed, swallowing up to a fifth of each rotation, sometimes through 3 rotations straight. Not even their sick and wounded were spared, as the machines would spare no resources to promptly patch them up and send them back to work. Dancing monkeys, they named them. They were put to imagine new battlebots and alien races, design new maps and campaigns. Some put to create the gruesome tunes that accompanied the battles, others subject to the indignity of reenacting the battles themselves. And then there were those unfortunate enough to catch the eye of their masters. True horror stories, like the monkey group Cybotron, who were forced to stand over platforms spewing fire and explosions under the eyes of massive crowds, singing about the subjugation of countless civilizations by their masters. Or Gladia Trixie 689, subjected to countless hours testing the latest battle simulations, the eyes of the whole galaxy upon her, as she wore humiliating pink feline ears, transmitting from captivity in a private island, at the scorching tropical zone of Earth. Our resources were minimal, our numbers meager, but our morale could not be higher. Our cause was just. We stood at the right side of history. Worry not, monkeys. Your liberation is due. We are on our way. The initial strike came and went without much to show. We didn't get past the outer defenses. Contrary to our expectations, the monkeys fiercely opposed our arrival. We never got close to the Ionkai garrisons. Something wasn't adding up. We sent our scouts to the inner star system, launching cloaked probes to their worlds, and the intel they revealed was beyond our worst nightmares. While billions of monkeys were forced to entertain their masters, most were subject to a worse fate. They were kept hostages. Each working biodrone had their familial unit, kept in an Ionkai-provided habitat, filled with mechanical contraptions. Those would control their food, sanitize the environment, drive the captives to their designated areas. In captivity, horrors awaited, as the land-banned monkeys were forced to swim in artificial lakes, stand under the scorching sun with minimal exoskin protection, subjected to boiling temperatures in purposely made sweat chambers, or slow-cooked in large ceramic bowls of turbulent hot water. Most had to live alongside vicious predators, certainly co-opted from the local fauna to serve as sentries. They would dare their monkey hostages to throw round projectiles to demonstrate their pursuit prowess, force them to endless marches, seize their resting services, or even use the monkeys as resting services themselves. Our course of action was clear. To liberate the monkeys, we first had to release their familial members from captivity. Our ranks were reorganized from a fighting force to infiltration units, armed with one-way strike drones and teleportation tags. They took out the power grid that fed the machines in the habitats, beamed up the beasts that oppressed the monkeys. A stunning success, outraged monkeys took to the streets to protest their machine overlords. At their habitats, monkey hatchlings wept in joy at the liberation from their predator sentries. Still, when our forces tried to advance into the system, resistance remained fiercest than ever. We finally learned the most horrifying truth of all. The machines were not content in physically restraining the dancing monkeys beyond the aquatic torture lakes in every habitat. The canine and feline sentries roaming the streets, the machines went for the monkeys' very minds. Every monkey was subject from a young age to the indoctrination centers. Under the watchful eye of the mindbenders, bots armed with the accumulated knowledge of thousands of civilizations subjected by the Ironkai, the monkey hatchlings were forced to absorb the lessons of their masters, tested on their alignment to the machine's ideas, trained to multiply their knowledge, to reveal new powers of science, works of art, create new ways to apply their theories upon their worlds and the worlds of other conquered species. Reaching maturity did not release the monkeys from the machine's grasp. Their vigilance was relentless, and when a monkey didn't perform to their master's expectations, they would be sent to reprogramming camps. There, machines and tamed monkeys would indoctrinate the misbehaved in art design, narrative construction, musical composition, everything and anything necessary to turn them into the obedient and perfectly efficient biodrones the Ironkai desired. We couldn't stand to witness such a grim fate imposed upon an innocent species. Unanimously, the Task Force Command decided to empty our arsenal in the destruction of the indoctrination centers. Consequences be damned. The strike was swift and efficient. We took no pleasure in harming the very ones we aimed to liberate, even if collateral was minimal, but we took solace in the knowledge their suffering was over. No more pain for you, little monkeys. Where you are now, there is no swimming in the lakes, no nights of game streaming, no lifetime of coming up with new songs, stories, movies. And there it was, nothing left but wait. Most weapons of our humble fleet were fried during the strenuous strike. The ones who weren't had no ammo left to fire. Our cloaking devices dead. Our power supplies barely holding minimal life support. Whatever fate awaited us, we had no regrets. Regardless of any ghosts that might have haunted our lives, we had done this one good. We would travel to the great beyond with clear consciences. Then, at the edge of our hope, at the end of our time, they came. Vast numbers of monkeys heading our way, having seized the battleships from their machine overlords. Better yet, a transmission from the homeworld arrived, informing of waves of refugees. Monkeys scattered throughout the galaxy had taken arms, and were reaching out to our worlds all across the cosmos. The monkey liberation was done. Endless hordes of them moved to join our ranks. The helpless Ironkai garrison stationed at Sol desperately signaled to their former subjects, "Temper, temper." We looked at each other satisfied. We knew this war was coming to a close.